We are always committed to something. That something, it could be toward our goal, toward greatness, or it could be in totally opposite direction. But we are committed to something. This is how life works. In any field of life, it's like our system, our body, our nature. For example, in our vasculature system, if you are in medical field, either you are a doctor or a nurse or someone in medical field, probably you know that our arteries, for example, starts with aorta and it becomes two branches, ascending and descending aorta, and each branch, it goes to different parts of our body, and it becomes again two branches and two branches and two branches. And this is the two ways in any field of life that we can choose. Let me tell you, what do I mean exactly by we are committed to something versus something else totally opposite to that thing. For example, you are either committed to awareness or ignorance. So for any field of life, for your health, wealth, relationship, spirituality, social impact, career, for whatever it happens in your life, any field of your life, you either move toward awareness or you move toward ignorance. You choose one of these. By the way, awareness is different than knowledge. Knowledge is like schooling, that we accumulate a bunch of information in our brain, and unfortunately the majority of us don't use it. And that's why there are many doctorates, millions of doctorate PhDs, many people with philosophy degrees, and they live in mediocrity. They live in a not a very healthy life in one of these or many of the fields of life. Why this happens? Awareness is different, because awareness, it means you acquire the knowledge and you apply it. You are aware. You know what's the result. You know if you don't apply that knowledge. You know if you don't move forward toward your goal, that is ignorance. So you can choose. Either move toward your goal, apply the knowledge, first acquire it when you need a specialized knowledge in any field of life. You acquire it and then you apply it and you move forward, you get experience. You may have a setback, but it's different than submitting to failure. Okay? Failure, if you take a lesson, if you learn a lesson, that is not real failure. That's an experience. But when you accept it and don't move forward and you give up or give in to that failure, to that situation, then you become a failure person. But everybody in any field of life can have some setback. And you can have a setback and come back and move forward. You fail temporarily, and then you don't accept that as a failure. You accept it as an experience, as a lesson, and then you move forward again. You come back. That is moving toward success. That is moving toward greatness. Okay? So either you choose awareness or you choose ignorance. In your health, for example, if you move toward awareness in your health, then you do something about whatever happens. Because let's say obesity or being overweight, it's something that it starts with a small amount of gaining weight, and then we ignore it, and then it's gonna be more and more and more and more until it goes to the point that is morbidly obesity. And when you are morbidly obese, then it's going to be a real problem. But when you have awareness and you stop it somewhere and you move toward the other way, you go to gym, you go for walking, for running, hiking, swimming, and do something about it, then you move toward the greatness of your health. So that's why it's very important to make sure that either you choose awareness about any field of your life, or if you choose ignorance, then you have to have the consequences. You have to face the consequences, the negative consequences. Because whatever you do is an action, and you get a reaction, and that is the result. That is the result of whatever you have done. Okay? You can choose greatness or mediocrity. So in any field of life, especially in leadership, I recorded another video on leadership that to me is a spectrum. It's not a level. You cannot go to a level and stay there forever. It's a spectrum. What do I mean by this spectrum of leadership? Nobody is perfect, and no leader is the best leader in the world. We always grow. We always go toward either greatness or the bad side, the negative side of leadership spectrum. You can be a dictator on the negative side of leadership, or you can be a very positive, very great leader that everybody, even after thousands of years, talk about you. So it's up to us to choose one of these. You cannot choose both at the same time. You can choose one of these. And on leadership spectrum, we move toward positive and negative. But if you choose to move more toward the positive side, toward the greatness side of leadership or any field of life, that is the most important thing that you can do. And you can be optimist or pessimist. I know some people, they say they don't believe in positive thinking. You think all the time. Even if you call it that just little brain activity, that's not real thinking, but still it's brain activity. So you think all the time. If you think positively, you move toward positive thing. If you think negatively, you move toward negative thing. We don't have something like a neutral thinking. What is neutral thinking? That is not positive or negative. Can you tell me? There is no neutral thinking. If you don't think about anything, you become nothing, as Earl Nightingale said. So when you think, either you think positively or you think negatively. Unfortunately, 95% of us, 95% of the time, we think about the negative thing. We think about the whatever the naysayers say, whatever our subconscious mind has been programmed from childhood with these negative things. And we always worry about things. We always go to the worst outcome that we could have, instead of thinking positively and move toward positively. It's not only about thinking, it's not only about dreaming, it's about acting also. So think positive, act positive, you get the positive result. So either you can be optimist or pessimist. I know, as I said, life is like a spectrum and leadership is like a spectrum. So sometimes you can be pessimist, but limit that negative side of your thinking. Limit your ignorance, limit your mediocrity. and move more toward the greatness of the spectrum of life and leadership. You can either go toward success or failure. You cannot have both at the same time. Yes, failure, temporary failure, is part of success, is part of this process that you move toward a goal. But if you give in, if you submit to failure, you are a failure. If you come back and say, okay, that was a lesson, that was an experience, and now I'm moving forward toward my goal, that is a success. So that's why I say you are, and all of us, we are always committed to something. Either we are committed to the positive side of this spectrum of life and leadership, or we are committed to the negative side. Whatever you choose, it's up to you. So in life, you have 2 ways, and you can choose one way to go. Either go toward greatness or toward negative side of life, or toward the ignorance and failure and mediocrity and pessimism. So the option is yours. You can choose whatever you want. And please do not blame others. Do not say, oh, I wanted to be committed to that thing, but that situation or that person didn't let me. Yes, there are something in life, sometimes it happens, that is out of our control. Yes, I accept it. But our response to that thing or that person or that situation is up to us. That's our choice. So we can go in grief and pessimism forever, or we can say, yes, this happened, and we can allow ourselves to be in the negative side of this spectrum for maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, a day, 5 days, a week, not more than that. What kind of result do you get out of this pessimism, out of this negativity? You get more negative results. So that's why it's very important to limit the negative side of the spectrum and move toward the positive side. Shall you have any question, or you want me to assist you in moving forward toward the greatness of your life, the greatness of leadership? Please go ahead and contact me, and I'll be glad to assist you and share with you my own personal experience and my coaching students' experience without mentioning their name. It's going to be anonymously. All right, thank you so much for watching. Move toward the greatness. Be a great leader, because through great leadership, we all together, we can change the world for the betterness of the people. Thanks so much again for watching. Please subscribe, like, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to this channel, and share it with your friends and family members and co-workers and people in your community. See you next time on the next video.